Anyway, I'm going to hit you with the top of the hour ad break here. At the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. More like half a Prime now. Hey, shut the fuck up. Shut up about that. Can we split this ad break 50-50? First of all, I'll just tell you something. I don't know if I'm allowed to. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. But I want to say it so bad. Okay, there are certain things that you can't discuss about your contract. Like it's literally in your contract that you can't discuss. I don't have a 50-50 ad split. And if you think that it's better than that, okay, I didn't say anything. I did not say anything. I was just trying to dry my hair with the air. That's what I was doing there. All I will say is I didn't say anything. But Ludwig, who saw my contract, laughed about it numerous times, both publicly and privately to my face. The reason why that happened was because I wanted to run the least amount of ads. And now that you see everybody running like 7 minutes of ads and shit, you probably realize that that was the case. That part of the contract I've been very open about from the jump. I literally had the lowest ad density out of all the top content creators. And for that, I got, heavily penalized, okay? A lot of the earlier contracts always had a 70-30 split for subs. On the one hand, you have ad revenue, and then on the other hand, you have subs. Now, ad revenue is understandable, even though it is a little bit... Ad revenue, them taking anything more than 50-50 for ad revenue is pretty fucking wild, but it is still understandable that they would take such a large percentage of the ad revenue because, like, they're selling the inventory themselves. There are people behind the scenes that are doing ad ops. That's an entire fucking team in and of itself. It's supposed to be the machine that generates revenue because video hosting live is an incredibly expensive endeavor. So there is truth to this. There is a reality on this platform. You know what I mean? Like, even if they were running a fucking not-for-profit business, or even if they were running, let's say, a cooperative corporation, okay, like Twitch is a platform, and then contracting out streamers like they do now, even if internally they were like, we don't care about profit at all, they would still take a percentage of your fucking ad revenue, and even a percentage of your subscriptions as well, because ultimately it's not free to fucking run all these servers and run all this shit. Twitch and AWS are owned by the same umbrella core. It's just internal money moving. None of it is real. The AWS could just charge Twitch nothing. Certainly. However, I don't know the internal workings between Amazon and Twitch. I don't know how much say they have over it. I don't know how much Amazon is like, yeah, no, fuck off. We don't give a shit about it. Because the same problem goes back to AWS as well. AWS... Amazon's like main fucking engine there. That's not how it works though. Amazon doesn't value Twitch enough. They probably get a discount, but it's never going to be free. Exactly. They definitely do pay for the hosting, for the record. And there's so much more that you're paying for. There's just like, I'm just saying something that's incredibly obvious to everyone. I hope you understand. There's an operating cost to every fucking platform. That's why I always literally tell you, for the record, whenever people are like, well, why do you work for Amazon? You fucking idiot. Like, why do you work for Amazon? What's wrong with you? Go make your own platform. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's fucking bananas, right? Because it's entirely too expensive an operation to just launch on your own. Why does it matter if you're making over 100K? That's plenty enough money. Wait, what? We haven't even... Wait, what? I haven't even gotten to that part. Like, I haven't even talked about the 100K barrier or whatever. But you do realize that you're defending... Like, you're shitting on contracted employees that are making 100K a year to defend a company that is a multi-billion-dollar operation here. It's like a fan of the NBA telling a fucking player, being like, oh man, you want more money for your you want more money for, like, let's say they want you to, train extra hours, right? They're like, oh, you want more money because you're training extra hours now? You made it to the fucking playoffs? Well, that's really fucking selfish of you. You're making enough money anyway. Like, how about this tiny fucking multinational corporation? How about their bottom line? You know what I mean? That's nuts. How are you going to fucking side with Amazon, brother? What the fuck? Let's say you hate wealthy streamers, right? You hate wealthy streamers because they're wealthy. They're doing something that you want to fucking do. And it seems really easy. How the fuck are they able to, make this kind of money or whatever? I'm not even defending for myself, and you will understand why I'm talking about this, because I'm in an entirely separate place than even the people that are in this conversation right now, because I'm one of the top content creators on the platform. We're talking about non-exclusivity streamers in this circumstance. Twitch basically changed its attitude this year and signaled that they were going to have non-exclusivity deals with all of their partners that would, change their revenue flow. I'm not even involved in that. I am in some ways, but not to the same degree. I'm involved in that if I say, no, I'm not taking anything, I'm not doing anything, fuck this, and then I'm locked into, in order to stream on the platform as a partner streamer, then I'm locked into the same contract that everyone else is. So there's a negative incentivization there. Now, the 50-50 split seems fair, though, is what you're saying. Okay, for ads, I think it's still too high compared to the YouTube, I think, 70-30 split, right? However, even if you consider the 50-50 split for ad revenue to be decent, normal, whatever, because the operating cost of Twitch is really fucking high, even if the 50-50 split for the ad side is like still too high, but is relatively understandable because like there's operating costs and whatnot, subscriptions, taking more of the percentage off of subscriptions is bananas. Absolutely bananas. And I'll tell you why. Because subscriptions are supposed to be 100% yours. What do you mean? Chatter, you subscribe to me. You're not subscribing to the fucking platform. What do you mean? What else are they going to do? Are they going to be like, okay, donations actually are now going to be a percentage that they're collecting as well? Like, I don't really do a lot of donos. You know what I mean? I don't really do TTS like that. I don't really get a lot of donos. You guys already know this. But like, that's insane. Subscriptions are supposed to be yours. Like, they're not really serving anything with subscriptions. They're just giving you emotes that you can use on the platform. Fine. That's an incentive for people to subscribe, an additional incentive for you to subscribe. But yeah, donations were literally such a burden on Twitch as a platform, another area of revenue generation for the content creators that they wanted to take a piece of. So they fucking started making bits. They literally did bits. That's the whole purpose of bits, is to cut out the middle, to become the middleman again. I think it's because subscriptions mean they won't get ad revenue from that viewer. Yeah, I think so as well. But also, it's because of people like myself who don't want to fucking run ads. Even if they farm incredible amounts of revenue off of me because of the bad ad rev distribution for me versus them, if it were up to me, I'd run 0 ads and only run subscriptions. There are other streamers like myself as well that see this as like a more sustainable and better way to serve content. They want people to run more ads. They have a fuckload of inventory that is going unserved currently. If your entire platform is about live hosting, which is a very expensive endeavor, that's all your inventory, and you have no fucking ads. Like, you have advertisers who are saying like, we want to buy ads on your inventory, but no one wants to serve them. You got to figure out a way to do it. One way to do it is through positive incentives, which would be like, hey, we're going to give you extra money if you run ads. Okay, which they're kind of doing right now. They've like launched, I think they launched something like that. My dashboard looks very different than the average streamers because I don't have any of the good bells and whistles. Like, I've never had a bounty because I've been banned too many times. And also, I don't have ad incentives because I already have an exclusive contract. I've never actually personally seen what it looks like, but I do know that Twitch will incentivize viewers. Bounties are ads, like native ads, like this hour is sponsored by League of Legends or some shit. You know what I mean? That's like what a bounty is. And then there are regular ads that you're serving, like pre-roll ads and shit like that. Can you please explain how you have the lowest ad density? Because there are new frogs that are spreading propaganda lies. Wait, what? Really? I took a fat L on my contract because I already generate enough revenue from subscriptions, and I was very open about it from day one. I negotiated down to a number, or rather a percentage of ad density, which was 60 seconds per hour. That is lower than every other fucking top streamer on the platform. And not only did I take a fucking fat L on the additional revenue that I could generate from running more ads, because, that's just how it is. The more ads you run, you're such a hero. No, I'm not. I don't think I am. I just think that this is the appropriate thing to do. Let's talk about, this is Cyrus Saul, liberal socialist by day, anarcho-socialist by night. This is what Carter sent me to look at. Let's talk about some of the stats Twitch uses in their posts. The most obvious, CDN costs. Using list price to make cost claims is something Twitch has done for years now. It's misleading, but not in the way many streamers think. The list CDN price is around 10x higher than base tech costs, so you can take that 1,000 and shrink it to 100. But CDN tech cost doesn't dominate Twitch's costs. When you factor all the other costs back in, the $1,000 is no longer a whole order of magnitude off. Because Twitch said, lastly, we have to talk about the cost of our service, because that's the main reason why they're saying like we're changing in order to maintain profitability, or in order to reach profitability, just to make more money off of all the streamers and viewers than the operating costs and everything else. When everyone else is paid out, that's what profits are, as you know. They wanted to find a different revenue stream, and instead of trying to lower the cost by going to the big guy in Amazon, they decided to farm the additional methods of revenue that partners have. They wanted to do this in a way that was like less impactful to the smaller streamers, which make up a gigantic part of the viewer base, I think, right? Because there's like 100,000 revenue threshold that you need to go up. Oh, 100K a year. Sorry, not 100K a month. Always available live video to nearly every corner of the world is expensive. Using the published rates from Amazon's Web Services Interactive Video Service, IVS, which is essentially Twitch video, live video costs for a 100 CCU streamer who streams 200 a month are more than $1,000 per month. We don't typically talk about this because, frankly, you shouldn't have to think about it. We'd rather you focus on doing what you do best. But to fully answer the question of why not 70-30, ignoring the high cost of delivering the Twitch service would have meant giving you an incomplete answer. But yes, the $1,000 is misleading, but more in misdirecting where the cost centers lie. Also, annoying math note. I'm not sure where Dan is getting his IVS price card. Here is the non-discounted IVS price card as of 9/21. What the fuck? Wait, I don't get it. For live video input, you paid the duration of live video sent to Amazon Interactive Video Service, and the standard is $2 per hour, and the basic is 20 cents. Wait, what? Yep, they priced in the press brief for like the best of the best or some shit. Misleading. Then there's the quoted 27% average year-over-year per viewer hour revenue increase. Anytime I see average quoted for a set of numbers that follow a logarithmic trend, I'm suspicious. The changes, so investments like paying off for streamers, products like Prime Subs, Community Gifting, Hype Train, and the Ads Incentive Program, to name a few, have driven an increase of 27% more streamer revenue per viewer hour year over the last 5 years. So they're basically saying all the new stuff that we're putting out there, Prime Subs, Community Gifting, Hype Train, and Ads Incentive Programs, have made streamers have an opportunity to make more money. Except what they're failing to mention is that Prime Subs, while it is subsidized by Amazon, okay, it's Amazon's way of like maintaining a monopoly on the live streaming space, is still an additional bonus for people that, it's added value to the Prime itself on top of delivery and whatnot. Community gifting is simply just a tool for people to be able to put more funds onto the fucking platform. The ads incentive program is the only one out of everything that they're saying here, which is a direct way to try to get people to serve ads by paying them more money. And of course, Twitch doesn't allow contracted streamers, as Lulu Lovely pointed out, to use the ad incentive program. I'm a contracted exclusive streamer on the platform. I've never seen it. I've never used it. To conclude, if Twitch wants to make P&L arguments in an open manner, profit and loss arguments, it needs to, one, publish percentiles and absolutes across CCV categories. We'll never do that, because that will show how much money they're fucking farming off of each individual streamer. That would be fucking bananas. And when that is out there, then all the contracted employees of Twitch, the streamers, would lose their fucking shit. And two, publish personalized numbers to each streamer's dashboard. And three, get serious about discussing costs. And finally, none of the above deals with that. By the way, this, some mechanism for being able to have this conversation with the platform itself can only be achieved under a more democratic organization of the company. The reason why Twitch does not have to do this, the reason why it's not common practice in any company to do such a thing, is because we don't have a union. Is because, and that was the main point I wanted to mention here, is because, one, there is no union and there is no mechanism to push back against Twitch. I don't even know how a unionization structure would work in this circumstance when it is contracted, hired help. Like it's effectively impossible to not have scabs in that circumstance. But Twitch realizes that because they are so dominant in the space, and they are both on the community building aspect and also on top of that, the monetization aspect still, and that's precisely why they're able to pull back the amount of revenue that you're generating for yourself and the platform and take a larger share of this and say, fuck you, because they have near monopoly status in the live streaming field right now. Having said all of that, should they do all this? Yes, absolutely. That'd be great. You should have an honest conversation with everyone because ultimately there is no value without labor. That's the reality. In a hypothetical scenario where every single streamer that is working on the platform decided to, not stream on a particular day, even the top streamers maybe, but definitely all streamers, they would make no value. That is just the reality. And the strategy is the same, yes, for tech companies is always to capture the share and then ramp up the revenue to make profit later. Exactly. And finally, none of the above deals with that. At the end of the day, are moral and ethical arguments about who creates what value. It's unlikely Twitch will ever want to engage in public on that topic in a more glancing manner, signal that we're in this together, which, by the way, is the classic. I love this story, even though it fucking kind of sucks. But I personally love this story because this is such a great educational opportunity. Because a lot of streamers are realizing for the first time ever in their lives what normal companies operate like. If you've never worked in a normal fucking company, if you've always been like a streamer or something, and you were very fortunate, this is how real companies work. I worked in a real company, okay, as a nepotism beneficiary. I still ended up working in a real company, and I saw that. You know, set your hours, and the company can take away your profits if they wish to do so. The company can literally say, hey, I'm dipping into the fucking pool here. They can downsize, and they'll use terms like, we are a family. We are in this together. We're in this together. I want to see what the profits and losses look like. I want to see what other avenues you can actually, generate revenue from that is not so disruptive to the consumers. The chats, the chatters, the watchers. It's something that I care about. So this is what they said. When we first established a 50-50 rev share split, it was to signal that we're in this together. You all do the amazing work you do to create great content, engage with your audience, and grow communities. On our side of the partnership, it's our responsibility to make continuous investments in the products and people that make your growth possible. If streamers want to get serious about having ethical and moral discussions, they need to organize and find common fronts of representation, i.e. they need to unionize. That is true. Exactly how you're supposed to do it. That is the only way that you can have any sort of leverage in any meaningful capacity. I don't want people reading this thread as if Twitch is trying its damnedest to screw streamers over. I don't think that's true, not for a minute. This change will only impact those at the very top while protecting in revenue of the vast majority of streamers. Structurally, the streaming business is hard to make work. Company after company has discovered this truth, but I do want to see better communication between Twitch and streamers and working together. For those of you who are saying it's not true, from what I understand, the way that they cut in to revenue generation is when you make like around 10K a month. Are they not spinelessly self-reporting that the original 50-50 split was to manipulate you guys into thinking that they care about your pay? No, I mean, this is a business. The contracted Twitch creators are a part of a business, and Twitch is a business. There are operating costs to a business. Okay, here it is. How to understand this is the top 500 creators will earn 29% less revenue per subscriber after reaching 100,000 earned in a year. No other Twitch streamer will be affected. More alarming in this post is Twitch saying they can't afford to run the website. Explanation below. So Devin Nash is not incorrect. I am more worried about what this signals for the platform. I don't know what Devin had to say about this, but I am more worried about what this signals for the platform and the future of the platform, and them doing basically what they do.
Today, out of nowhere, at like 4 a.m. my time, Twitch dropped an announcement on a policy update that's on the horizon.
This one is so interesting because like people in the labor movement have been hitting me up. Like people, like leftists have been like, dude, what the fuck? Because, unlike all these dumb motherfuckers in the chat who are like, bro, you guys are like, you guys are fucking so rich, it doesn't matter. Other people recognize that this is like a gross violation. You know what I mean? It's just like ridiculous for a company to just turn around and be like, yeah, we're just giving you a pay cut for no reason. It's based on your performance, but we've decided you as a contracted employee will just get a pay cut. Like you'll be doing the same work if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You're a contracted employee and you're getting a pay cut. In any other circumstance, that pay cut is supposed to also, simultaneously coincide with like some kind of fucking reason. They were just like, yep, nope, we're not profitable enough. Sorry, we're not profitable. At a time when inflation is fucking happening, they were just like, nope, doesn't matter. Here, Adam hit me up about this too. Twitch is cutting creator pay by nearly 30%. And their explanation for why it's transparent bullshit. Twitch is Amazon, so why are they citing the rates they charge other businesses? This is like McDonald's claiming that it costs them $3.99 to make a Big Mac is a straight up lie. The fact that Twitch is unilaterally cutting pay to its biggest stars is proof that the creator economy is a scam. These creators are the only reason Twitch has an audience in the first place. If they organize and work together, they'd have massive leverage to fight back. I agree. The other alternative is that like there are a couple problems with this. Like last time in the entertainment industry, there was a massive fucking work stoppage in an incredibly unionized part of the field, Writers Guild. We got the invention of reality TV, right? And the reality is that, once again, the same shit it can happen on Twitch, but you'll just have alternative substitutes. Like you're always going to have rats. You're always going to have scabs, especially when everyone has a fucking phone and a camera. So any level of organization is going to be an incredibly difficult one. It's one that people talk about, let's say, but there is no better opportunity than this. Like the likelihood of scabbing in that field is so fucking insane that I don't know how this would work. But would people watch scabs? They won't be experienced/decent? Yeah, bro, yes. Calling smaller streamers who want their big break scab is a bit hurtful. I get your point though. What? Yes, bro, it is. That is scabbing. In the invention of some kind of fucking streamers union, dumbass small streamers that like think that this is their opportunity to shine would unironically be scabbing because it'd be fucking themselves over. You know why? Because if those little streamers become big streamers down the fucking line, if they're lucky enough, they would get fucked over by the same platform because there's no mechanism to push back. That's what scabbing is. That's why strikes are supposed to, have solidarity. My man was like, man, that's... what you just described as scabbing, which has like historic precedent, and being like a unironically self-defeating act of selfishness, the most capitalist thing you can do. That's actually hurtful that you're calling it what it is. One major efficiency that the Amazon-Twitch merger was supposed to produce, lower bandwidth costs. That's one of the largest expenses associated with running a streaming service, after all. And Amazon Web Services is the 900-pound gorilla of cloud computing. This is true. They've bought or built tons of infrastructure, and even for the parts of the stack they don't own, they are so big they can demand preferential treatment. Hypothetically, cheaper bandwidth leaves more money on the table for the creative workers whose labor generates Twitch's revenue, but that's not how it's played out. Profit has a tendency to decline, folks, not to get all fucking Marxist with it. The rate of profit is always going to fall. So you got to look to different avenues to squeeze as hard as you can. Once you have effectively monopolized a certain sector, then you can fucking take profits. Then you can increase your profit margin slowly but surely. And if you don't want to do it by, going back to the granddaddy, going back to the Big Mac, Amazon itself, and saying, hey, there is a way that we can at least try to turn this around. It's just that it would eat away at Amazon's profits, which is like renegotiating or trying to fucking lower the costs of video hosting, no matter how much of a behemoth that is. Or they could increase, subscription revenue or whatever. I'm sure they got quants and mathematicians that are trying to figure that out. The reality is that Amazon recognizes that in the live streaming space, Twitch is the top dog for a multitude of different reasons that I mentioned yesterday. And for that very specific reason, they can fucking increase the pressure, okay? They can just turn the pressure valve on. How can you do that? You can either turn it on the consumers, you, the viewers, the chatters, or you can turn the pressure valve on the fucking content creators, the workers in this circumstance. So obviously, they decided to turn the pressure valve on both at the same time. How do they do that? Well, they farm you for harder. They farm your impressions for more dollars by monetizing your impressions, by forcing more ads and higher ad density on the platform. Higher ad density on the platform on Twitch is very different than any other fucking platform itself. This is the most enthusiastic, captive audience you could ever get. The average watch time on this platform is bananas. It's higher than the fucking Super Bowl, as Devin Nash always points to. So obviously the CPMs are pretty fucking high, and there's a lot of inventory that is currently going unmonetized. Amazon's like looking at that with their mouth salivating, saying, hey, we need to run more ads. We need to run more ads right now. But of course, unfortunately, they created a monetization structure that is too good without ads. That's precisely why myself and a lot of other top content creators never really ran a single fucking dime of ads. Part of that was because Twitch was also taking an insane, mountain of the, revenue from the ads that were being generated. They don't like that. This is not philanthropy. This is not charity. This is Twitch, baby. You got to make money bucks. Amazon's already dumping a lot of its own fake dollars internally in the form of Prime back into Twitch Prime. And then also on top of that, they're probably bearing the cost of video hosting. Is there any public info on how much Twitch is making per year? Yes, $2.6 billion, a 41% increase in year over the course of the past year. And yet they are still tightening the fucking budget. Austerity is upon us. Pretty funny that austerity is upon us at a time when inflation is also upon us. Cost of living is going up. Twitch is like, hey, sorry, creators, we're also going to give you a 30% pay cut. Bananas. Absolutely fucking bananas. No, that's not gross profit. No, Twitch is not a profitable company. Amazon would ban streamers before letting them unionize. Here's a blur from a big union-busting law firm. Reading union avoidance law firm Littler Mendelssohn's annual Labor Day report. Plenty in here to spook your company's in-house counsel. We are on the cusp of witnessing what has the potential to be one of the most pro-union eras in modern history. Holy shit. Littler says the top-down approach to union organizing has flipped entirely, moving into a less predictable grassroots direction. This new paradigm can be confusing for employers, so you may want to consider seeking the advice of outside counsel. Obviously, part of that reason is because they want to make money. Union-busting law firms are going to make a lot of money by saying, you know, unionization is happening everywhere. You better get fucking excited. You better lawyer up, is what they're saying. Amazon already probably has an in-house team that deals with that, considering what Chris Smalls did to their distribution facilities. Maybe they'll turn it on fucking Twitch if ever such a thing is supposed to happen. With most streamers, Twitch takes half the money they earn. That's a big chunk, which Clancy justifies by citing continuous investments in the products and people that make your growth possible. Yeah, that's not a fucking good reason. He describes some new features that have increased the revenue per audience member since Amazon's 2014 acquisition of Twitch, but for Twitch's most valuable streamers, the ones that courted most aggressively, there's a better revenue split. 70-30, the worker gets 70%, Amazon takes 30. These are the deals that Clancy is unilaterally canceling. Clancy says it's not fair that the company's favorite streamers should be earning more than the majority of streamers, which is a pretty good point. Except the real point is that everyone should be getting 70-30, not some people get 70-30 and then others get fucked over and get 50-50, especially on subscriptions, because subscriptions are entirely between the streamer and consumer. You're literally violating your own product that you're trying to fucking make money off of. Okay, here's the fucking problem. When you take subscriptions, which is a membership, which is directly between the fucking consumer and the streamer, and you turn it into something that is funding the dollars and funding the pockets of the platform, consumers have no allegiance for the fucking platform. Like, why the fuck would they subscribe then? You're literally cutting off your own revenue stream because the number of outside subscribers that join the fucking platform and subscribe to their favorite content creators is going to fall. It is an idiotic fucking move. Okay, I'm sure they've done the math on that internally, thinking that this is going to give them immediately in the short term a big revenue boost, especially from the top content creators, but it's fucking idiotic, especially because streamers can just turn around and be like, all right, well, I don't want my own fucking sub growth, then fuck it. On $5, you're getting $2.50 and pay and taxes. Let's say 40%, you only get $1.5. But this is for places where sub prices are $5. Yeah, exactly. Like when you give a $5 subscription, the after-tax pocketed money for the streamer is $1.15 fucking cents. I don't have an issue with the high taxes, by the way. Do not misunderstand me. But it is a little ridiculous when it's like people are doing the mental math without even fucking comprehending what's happening there. I think they're working for making their turbo $6.99 to not see commercials, so the money will go right to them. Yeah, but that's also another way to siphon like subscription revenue off of streamers, making it having less incentives for streamers to be on the platform. If they're taking away membership from you, they're like taking more of the membership prices from you when other platforms are offering like 12%, 8% deals, right? Like Patreon. That's fucking insane. That is like a complete insane moment right there to be like, oh yeah, sorry. It's the same as basically saying Prime is over. And everybody knows once Prime is done, like a lot of people will switch over to YouTube because YouTube has better monetization. It's just the truth. The moment that like monetization becomes more manageable on YouTube and better on YouTube in comparison to Twitch, you'll see people start to move over there for free without the fucking bag. The moment that you start seeing big streamers move to YouTube unprompted, the moment that you start seeing more streamers like Ninja doing multi-platform streaming, The moment that you start seeing that is the moment that like Twitch is probably going to, perhaps too late, recognize that like they do not have like the most replaceable labor force. But the moment that they decide to like force ads on people, you're going to see people like Germa be like, I'm done. I'm not on this platform anymore. You're going to see people like Charlie probably say, I'm done. I'm not on this platform anymore. For 40 years, the entertainment industry has grown ever larger and more profitable, even as the share of those profits going to artists have fallen and fallen. To solve this, legislatures have granted creators more copyrights, longer terms, lower barriers to enforcement, higher penalties for violations, and yet the problem has only worsened. There's a reason for that. The major factor in suppressing creative workers' wages isn't copyright infringement, it's monopsony. 4 major publishers, 3 studios, 3 labels, 1 trade book distributor, 1 cinema chain, etc., etc. That is exactly the reason. That's why, ironically, whenever they fucking do copyright infringement, the artists themselves don't give a fuck.